Aloha! Chapter 12. The Road to Nancy. The magical road. Oh, whatever. Arrival in such circumstances brought a portal opening within his transcendent senses. Woke up next to a Chanel that would share a boarding line with an incredible bike path where a bunch of positive riders were greeting Luka chilling on a hammock. Bonjour, 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 ça va? Luka decided to rush back in the camp a little bit, as there was a maintenance truck passing by with a usual/unusual look at the biker hanging around. The Chanel was heading either south or north. However, Luka was trying to find road toward west side of the forest. Therefore, even ended up taking national fast-paced road where big trucks overcoming fear around tiny bike without hard shoulders to hide in the deep darkness with only one red light flashing on the rear side of the moon was very close to cause an accident while struggling up the hill where restricted view is not given much time to get back on their own line after overtaking the path. Tack, tack. Luka follows the signs. Hence, as soon sign saying Nancy appeared, he took it, dude. Couldn't find fresh baguettes to make a ritualistic lunch until little town of Vic-sur-Cele, where not only tomatoes, banana butter, carrots, dark chocolate and baguette happened to wait for him, but also a delightful love. After morning exercise, lunch tastes so nice. To enjoy vegan sandwich, he sat down on a bench in the middle of almost empty square, watching two African boys kicking ball outside their parents' store. Fountain behind the bench would compose an amazing healing soundtrack without offense. On the far left side of the square was a funky bar with a man smoking a cigarette while cleaning, arranging, refreshing empty tables. There she was, walking surely with middle tempo, long hair, on, not too tall, not too short, but with a beautiful smile. Luka felt the connection within to talk to her, paused the sandwich and stood up asking, Où est le bureau touriste? Je travaille dans le bureau touriste. Viens avec moi si vos veloso. Okay, I will pack my stuff and I'll be right there. While packing, Luka thought, I was so lost without a map for so long, now she will show me the way. Incredible. He took solid wash in a fountain and went to see his destiny. The office was small and very cute, full of flowers, colors, paintings, and her big, charming, overwhelming smile right in the middle of touristic universe. When Luka came in, she was boiling water for coffee or tea, but probably coffee. However, it could be tea as well. One never knows, 'cause one never asked. Bonjour. Bonjour. Parlez-vous anglais? Would you like to speak English? Yeah. How can I help? I am looking for a cycling map. Where are you going to? First to Paris and then to Portugal. Ooh, beautiful journey. Unfortunately, we have only a general map. She brought a map with a comic drawings and not much detail on it. Where do you sleep? On a hammock in a forest on the way. Oh, okay. She went to bring bigger map with more detail. Here you go. Merci beaucoup. Is there anything else I can help you with? In Luka's head, you could take me home for a few days, and we would jam and jam and jam, and then I would disappear in the rain. That's all. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. De rien. Au revoir. Her smile was so vivid, wild, wide, and overwhelming that when Luka went out of little heaven, totally forgot about the bike and walked the other way, the other direction, for some time until the charm went down. Then realization hit the spot. Back to the bike, back on the road. Two extremely important free maps have completely changed the directional approach of entire journey. While putting maps away, he noticed green string that last dreamcatcher was made of. So he took the dreamcatcher into his hand and went back to the dark her beauty. Dark her beauty. Here is a little gift for the map. Her smile was even more angelic than before. His ego melted under blue wave of positive energy they both generated. He would never see her again, always keeping memory in the enlightened corner of the never-ending journey. Hopefully the dreamcatcher is hanging around her window. Hopefully she went after the French dream, listening to the fountain on the almost empty square. Later that day, Karma has spoken. While checking out the map for the first time, just before a roundabout, some friendly-looking fellow approaches Luka speaking French. Luka figured out that he wants to give him a ride to Nancy, pointing at the truck parked just before the roundabout. Halfway on a sidewalk, half on the white straps. My gosh! Luka has never gotten a ride with a trucker before, and now he didn't even ask for it, man. They went to the back of the huge vehicle when the driver opened it with Luka's help, then lifted pretty loaded bike into the trailer. Boom! The front cabin was very comfortable. Nothing to pedal, just sitting and watching kilometers passing by. Woohoo! The driver handed an album with pictures of his cycling journey to Marseille through 1,000 kilometers. Luca was sitting there thinking about dark hair beauty and communicating in half French and half English through 30 kilometers journey to Nancy. The driver. The road is very narrow to Nancy. That's why I give you a ride. Thank you for the sign. I have never had the pleasure of being picked by a truck. Cycling is a magic so valo. Silence for 3 minutes, 33 seconds. How long Parabello? Since 16th of August, started in Poland, on going to Portugal, searching of the dreamland for Jedi Academy. Oh, bon voyage. The driver announced on the phone that he picked up a cycling hitchhiker and is taking him to Nancy. Lovely female French voice, just had a laugh. When Luca got dropped off next to the shopping center, where was a perfect spot to buy an extra inner tube, which in case of black hole was perfect. The driver received a dream catcher that was made with feathers of beloved bird that Luca found on the side of the road on the same day. Yes, it was melancholically surreal funeral when the round into 50-centimeter long bird with still very powerful eyes resting in peace. Luca dug a hole using stick found next to the fence surrounding cows that were wondering when is their turn. After lighting Palo Santo, the smoke would cleanse energetic frequencies of missing synchronicity between the victim and the driver. Then, one by one, feathers were being plucked out of birds' wings to eventually gently put the body into the hole, saying from ashes to ashes, from dust till dust. Making a cross of feathers on the top of the hole was the end of ceremonial goodbye. Few feathers went into Luca's dress, and the rest of them carefully stashed inside side pocket of the main backpack strapped to rear carrier rack. Also, there is a little secret between Luca and the bird that might be revealed later on, as Luca wasn't proud of what he did. Going back to the driver, who was very surprised while accepting such dream-like gift in exchange for his unconditional kindness. In France, cyclists do care for each other, always greeting one another, stop to help a stranger when recognizing that inner tube might be flat, and they love creating cycling packs while chatting, laughing, and struggling towards next steep hill. After getting extra inner tube, radio was switched to jazzy mode, giving perfect soundtrack to the experience of arrival into big city life. Bizarre creatures taking million decisions in the same time, being pushed by illumination and lines, restricted by walls and roads. Each choice affects next choice, all attached to the chain of commands chain of choices. Standing in the middle of piazza, Luca was going through culture shock, observing each interaction with a jazzy flow in his headphones, munching on baguette and wondering where to start basking to hit that jack point. The dramatic scenarios varied from two girls wandering in a mellow conversation, then a man with a beard, passing by holding a dog very similar to him in shape and movement. Also, Luca would be consistently noticing a group of young activists dressed up in bloody bandages and red t-shirts. A group of young activists dressed up in bloody bandages and red t-shirts asking people some questions, interacting with untouchables by annoying, provoking, and activating. Luca would stand there with his bike wondering about the chain of choices when the red sun had set behind the hill of Nancy, and Piazza became almost empty, turning day shifters into night shifters. Fighting the right spot for basking is another enormous choice one has to make to refine impact of each performance. 1 meter round the corner can give higher tones by cutting street noise, naturally amplifying instrumental sections leading directly to pedestrian heart with a key of love handling pocket full of coins. Through narrow streets with no cars, he arrived on Rue de la Finciere. It was right in front of a small pizza bar, Gualarezo, where Jesus was standing dressed up pretty loosely in house shoes, greenish sporty uniform made by Nike, talking to himself and waiting for somebody, maybe crucifixion, maybe just fiction. Not so many people passing through, but more than yesterday, so he thought. I'll play here, but even though might not make a dime, will feel like back in Hayden Ashbury times. The pizza place owner closed the door just before Luca started to play, making a solid point, keeping on staring at Luca with not the nicest glance in his eyes. Basking was fun and pleasurable, quite native. Flute got few positive comments, several wandering gazes, and 2 priceless smiles. The melody would tell the story about the dark-haired beauty, the ride in the truck, the funeral of the bird, and the wild jazzy arrival into the unknown tribe. Made approximately 70 cents and a piece of pizza from a lady that actually did apologize that it was served this way. He took it for the bread part, otherwise she would have put it in a bin. Dark her beauty from the office de tourisme had to put a spell onto the gifted map, as every single time he opens it, some angels fly to show him the way. It happened at late night while standing on top of Nancy trying to get out of the big city, which is always the hardest part of the journey. Full view on the metropolitan community would shine bright while Luca passed by some good-looking university, arriving to a shopping center that was very hard to identify on the map. Studying magical map for 5 minutes was enough for the rescue to arrive. Second time during that day, a couple with some 50, 60 years of earthy experience looked at the map, trying to explain that it's pretty difficult to get to the road called D400, which was the only one where bikes were allowed. So the man said, "Follow us." So he did. It wasn't easy at all, man. While the car would be leading the route, slowly and surely Luka had to step it up, pedaling up the hill and not stay behind too far. Eventually, after 20 minutes, angelic couple took him on D400 West Road, where Luka said, "Thank you, man. Thank you, guys." Gifting a small rock. But the man didn't accept such thing. Another 30 minutes of cycling, and hammock was hanging to the highway. Next to the highway were trees were petrified as his dreams. Hippie Hill and Wide Eye are two brothers from different mothers who are consistently on the road to rainbow gatherings, communities and festivals, making enough money by busking from town to town. While Red Star Skywalker, a cosmic half-human, half-angelic messenger, takes different forms to show them the right busking spots and paths through mountains and deserts. This is a short introduction to the story that Luca has been writing in his head to have something to think about while riding ahead of his time. Boom. Shaka.